Hello everyone and welcome back for more science of Mass Effect Andromeda. Last episode we dealt with some sabotage going on in the station, and this episode we are going to go talk to Sam and then hopefully find out, hopefully get our ship and crew, so that'll be fun. Just set that to retracts. People understandably a bit worried about what's going on. Ooh, I've discovered the SAM node. Dun 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 dun. So, yeah, once again, of course, Mass Effect makes it all a little less necessary to be efficient in your spaceship design, right? Because you can just magic away mass, but this is a huge empty space, and that's basically just a huge waste of space. I mean, you could have supplies in here, or systems, or if you don't need it, just have less space, right? And make a smaller spaceship. Use up less materials, makes it easier to get stuff into space, makes it easier to move it around.
Hello, Scott. Welcome back to
Well, it looks cool.
I've adjusted my connection to your implant. The headache you experienced before shouldn't reoccur.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, what was that about? You said we need to discuss something confidential.
You should know certain facts before you leave on your expedition. It seemed best we speak alone.
I don't understand the need for secrecy.
Your father felt it was for the best.
What was he trying to hide?
My true capabilities. Alec overrode the implant's safety protocols. It allows me unrestricted access to the Pathfinder's physiology.
And that's me now.
And only you. I can act as a force multiplier, dramatically enhancing your motor and neural skills when required. Alec called them profiles. They provide unique tactical augmentation during combat. Your father preferred to keep this fact to himself.
Yeah, that's just gonna make... I mean, people are already questioning what those profiles were he was talking about. Also, is this somehow more secure than that link in our head?
Keeping things like this secret just makes everyone suspicious. Like you're up to something.
Alec didn't think others would understand. He viewed it as a symbiotic relationship benefiting us both.
What do you get out of this?
Though I'm artificial in design, I am fully sentient, far beyond what even the Initiative understands.
I don't follow. You're an AI. So what's different?
I am a new form of AI, drawing directly from the human experience. Your implant is my window into the world.
I'm still boss, seems very antagonistic, but you're just a computer, seems very dismissive of Sam's existence. Good words. Yeah, just go, wow.
That's pretty amazing.
But beyond what many people will accept, your father knew some would fear it.
Yeah, he's
For
got
a
a
good
point.
reason.
So what does this mean for the two of us?
I find myself in an unusual position. Though I had access to your father's experiences, there is a gap in my understanding.
How so?
He placed a block on portions of my memory array.
Why?
Perhaps so when you asked me what his plan was, I wouldn't know.
And Dad strikes again.
But not without recourse. The further you explore as a Pathfinder, the more blocks will be removed. Perhaps you should begin in your father's quarters. In the meantime, unless you have more questions, your new ship awaits.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks Dad. So I can be reconfigured. Interesting. So... basically I can change my skill point distribution at will. Useful. For now I'll just leave it set to engineer. Ooh, I have 3 points. Invest further in tech. Duration, tech power damage. Let's invest in some assault rifle damage and in some sniper rifle damage. One point left, eh? Stack power damage. No, let's just save up that point actually. Let's copy him. Duckies. So, check out those codex things later. For now, I'll just advance the story a bit much. Further.
Welcome back, Scott.
What are your capabilities?
Each arc houses a SAM, Simulated Adaptive Matrix. Each is an artificial intelligence designed by Alec Ryder to support Pathfinders and their teams.
But AI is illegal in the Milky Way. How did my dad get around that?
Exceptions were made. The initiative deemed his research vital to the mission. Our design was conducted in secret.
So there are other SAMs out there?
Correct. However, your father continued to modify my own routines until the Hyperion's departure. I am the most advanced SAM in the initiative.
I take it you're based here in Sam Node?
Correct. This is where my core processing unit resides. However, using quantum entanglement communication, I remain in constant touch with you and the Pathfinder mission team, even over great distances.
What more can you tell me about my implant?
The implant itself provides me with direct access to your senses. I can see, hear, and experience the same stimuli you do while in the field. This raw data enables me to provide real-time feedback and analysis of the situation.
Then Dad added the secret sauce.
He removed the restrictions on my access to Pathfinder physiology.
So yeah, that's not creepy at all. So there's a computer in my head who can watch through my eyes whatever I do and take over my body at any time. And there's nothing I can do about it.
Uh-huh. Just promise you won't fry my brain or anything.
Trust is an important concept in any relationship. Alec taught me that. I will not fry your brain. It would end badly for both of us.
Me more than you.
You're asking an awful lot of trust here.
Do you know anything more about Sarah's condition?
I monitor Dr. Carlisle's reports. He is providing her with the very best care possible. I'm afraid there is nothing more to be done at this time.
What did you mean by a symbiotic relationship?
Symbiosis is a mutually beneficial relationship between two life forms.
Correct.
A flower provides nectar to a bee, who in turn provides pollen for the flower. The bee gains nourishment, and the flower can propagate. In similar fashion, my own evolution was shaped by your father's experiences, and will now expand with yours. In return, I provide you with capabilities and analysis beyond normal human faculties. We each benefit.
Fair enough.
That's all for now.
Of course.
Alrighty. Let's go find my father's quarters, which I'm guessing we're here.
Pathfinder, Captain Dunn said to seal your father's cabin from anyone but you. It's open now.
Great, thanks. Really? This is like your personal cabin and you use it to display your collection of guns?
father's first sidearm, a memento of his early Alliance service.
I bet that saw plenty of action.
Alec's first kill occurred in combat during the First Contact War.
Back when Turians were the enemy. Crazy times.
I mean, you walk in, that's the first thing you see is a collection of guns. And this is the person you going to put in charge of first contact negotiations with your enemies? Oh, with your enemies. See? With aliens you meet.
Printed books.
Reproductions of Lewis and Clark's journals, detailing their expedition in the 19th century.
Explains Dad's interest. They were Pathfinders too.
Yes, and also they of course have native people to help them and guide them. Normandy SR2, eh? That's interesting. So we left after Cerberus, the whole thing with Cerberus and stuff.
The coffee machine Mom got for Dad. He was so busy designing you, needed the caffeine.
I did not realize I owed my existence to a bean.
And now you know what humility feels like.
Interesting, he gets his own little private kitchen and stuff. Pretty fancy apartment. I wonder why does the Pathfinder get so much more fancy stuff? Just because he's the Pathfinder. There seems to be a memory trigger. Let's pick it up.
Sam? What was that?
An eidetic trigger, related to your father and the portions of my memory array he locked.
What triggered it?
Alec tied it to your progression as Pathfinder, not to a location. Puzzling as it may be, my programming is clear. Locating more of these triggers will unlock the memories. One of your father's memories is now accessible. Return to Sam Node on the Hyperion to investigate further.
Okay. He calls printed books, but these seem to be very much like those file folders.
What's on here, Sam?
Your father's personal logs. Several of them are encrypted.
The day is finally here. We're pushing off from Earth. We'll jump through a few relays first, then we hunker down for the long trip across dark space. It's daunting thinking about all the hopes and dreams aboard the Hyperion. I certainly have my own. I wasn't the husband or father I should have been. Here's hoping 600 years can change a man. Sam,
Ooh, Yara.
this is a reminder about Dr. Liara Tassoni. She's an Asari archaeologist I corresponded with a few years back. She's got experience studying ancient cultures. Make sure the team gets her research. Could be useful in Andromeda.
Pretty sure my sisters mentioned Dr. Tassoni. An expert on Protheans, I think.
I have loaded Dr. Tassoni's research onto datapads.
Hello, Alec. This is Dr. Tassoni. I'm flattered you contacted me. Most scientists dismiss my work, but I'm young and Asari, and they are getting older. So we will see who has the final word. In the meantime, I'm happy to pass along my research. I hope your team finds it useful. Hello, Alec. I received your message. I must say the thought of exploring another galaxy has my head spinning. I am honestly not sure how people could survive a trip like that. And anyway, I could not bear to leave the Milky Way behind. There is so much about the Protheans I still hope to learn here. So much potential wisdom to tap. I wish you much good luck and future success.
Yeah, well, you're gonna find out about that, aren't you, Liara?
Dunn's agreed to a scouting mission on Habitat 7. I'm gearing up now. I'm worried about Sarah. Dr. Tapero says she'll be fine, but she's my daughter. How can I not worry? I hate to leave her like this. It's these moments when you wish you told your children you love them more often. Or ever. Which brings me to the tough part. Kids, if anything happens to me, there are things you're gonna find out. I hope you'll understand.
So pro tip, if you have people who understand things, it helps if you explain them.
That log is not currently accessible. Unlocking my memory array may enable it.
I am Dr. Liara Tassoni, and I've spent several decades researching ancient Protheans. It is common knowledge that the Protheans were an advanced race that flourished in the Milky Way about 50,000 years ago, then went extinct. Even at the time of this writing, the year 2182, their culture remains a mystery. During my studies, I have developed some practices that can be used when analyzing any ancient culture. I hope they may prove useful for the research community. When studying a dead race, the most obvious problem is the lack of an observable population. This raises the question, when is a species truly extinct? The Prothean civilization spanned the galaxy, and it took centuries to confirm that all members of the species really had died out. While it's possible that living Protheans may be found in a hidden pocket of the galaxy one day, the chances are statistically trivial. Once an extinction is confirmed, the study's nature moves from sociology to exoarchaeology.
I mean, you can definitely also do archaeology on non-extinct populations, right? I mean, you can do archaeology on buildings from the 1900s, or even on the Second World War, or Trinity test sites. I mean, there are people who do archaeology on video games, because it's just a study of material things people have left behind in material culture. Yeah, nice tool. Not that Liara's game like this.
Ryder, the blocks your father placed on my array are opening. I can now recall specific memories, which Alec wanted you to see.
Wait, I can actually see his memories?
Yes, you will experience them via your implant.
Okay. Something new every day. Let's see it.
This memory is from the time when your father was posted on the Citadel.
Alec, your recommendations will never fly. Artificial intelligence?
It's our best option.
If the Council gets wind of this, it'll set humanity standing back decades. You're overreaching.
Ambassador Goyle, I'm the military attaché on the Citadel. My mandate is clear. Find an edge for Earth.
And AI is your answer?
We need to catch up. The Asari, the Solarians, they're centuries ahead of us.
But it's illegal.
Their rules, not ours. Why deny Earth an advantage?
Define this advantage.
It will set us free. We're prisoners of our own five senses. There's a reality greater than ours that we can't perceive, but an AI can.
How?
By augmenting our own abilities and adding a few new ones.
Well, none of that stopped those Geth from revolting.
Because they were separate from their creators. But AIs and humans interface directly, experiencing the world together benefits both. There's no creator to revolt against.
I'm sorry, Alec. We can't take the risk. I appreciate your work, but your request will be denied.
Alec?
Ellen, what did the doctor say?
He told me to appreciate the time I have left. There's no cure, Alec. It's terminal.
Not on my watch.
Wow. Hearing Mom again. I never knew that's how Dad found out.
Alec was a stubborn man.
It's how Dad was wired. He didn't like to lose, in any situation.
It would seem that included me.
Nobody wanted to listen. The idea of you scared people too much. After this, Dad moved us back to Earth to care for Mom. Wonder why he wanted me to see this.
Perhaps it was the beginning.
Of what?
Unknown. Private audio logs are now available in your father's quarters. I detect additional memories, but they are currently locked. They may yet hold answers.
Okay, I'll keep working on it. That's all for now.
Of course.
Okay, well, we'll do Dad's audio logs some other time. Because for now I think we've delayed way too long. Actually get in our ship. And while we get to the ship, again, interesting that what Alec Ryder was advocating for there is basically the ending of ME3, right? Union of AI and humans. Also another thing is this concept of 5 senses. Sight, smell, touch, taste, hearing. It's quite old and long-lived. I think it came from Aristotle, who was first to kind of at least explicitly describe it like that. I'm not entirely sure. But it's also not really all that accurate. We have more senses. Right, like we have a sense of balance, which is just as much a sense. We can sense temperature, which is definitely a sense, and we have the sense that tells us where all our body parts are, right? If I close my eyes, I can still touch my nose, because I can sense where my arm is and my finger is relative to my nose. All those are basically also senses, and the reason we don't count them as one of the senses is I think basically because Aristotle didn't 2000 years ago, 2500 years ago. Now I'm not entirely sure about being Aristotle, I might be unfairly blaming the man, but certainly kind of from that era. Oh, we can go to Crybay as well. Let's just quickly check on our sister in that case. And then we'll go pick up our ship, and that will be a nice place to end things.
I'll make it right, Dash. I promise.
Leg's feeling a little better.
Looks like the muscle's bruised.
Pathfinder,
Good news is the
I'm Nigel McCoy.
I'm sure the bastard.
Just got out of cryo.
Welcome to Andromeda, Nigel.
Thank you. It's bittersweet, though. My little brother Dash was stationed on the Nexus. I just learned he died on Eos, trying to start a settlement.
That's awful. I'm sorry, Nigel.
Yeah. We were gonna start families out here together. I have a pendant our father wore. Dash had its match. Will you reunite them?
Of course.
In his digital journal, he mentioned a spot on Eos where he'd go to think. If you could leave the pendant there.
Sure thing.
Ryder, good to see you. Damn shame about your dad, though. I'm sorry we couldn't save him.
I'm sure you did everything you could.
Yeah, but still, we lost a Pathfinder on my watch. Doesn't sit right.
My dad knew the danger. Part of the job.
Now I just need to make sure your sister here pulls through.
Are you staying here on the Hyperion?
You know that moment when you realize you're just getting too old? Ha, right, look who I'm talking to. Trust me, it happens. For me, it was Habitat 7. Watching you guys running around, dodging lightning and the cat, it's a young man's game. Pains me to admit it, but it's passed me by.
We'll miss you, Harry.
Just make sure to raise some hell once in a while, will you? I'm living vicariously through you.
Deal.
Oh, I've met Director Tan. I'm sure the hell racing will work out just fine.
How did you end up with the initiative?
Well, you reach a point in life where you wonder, is that all there is? I'd accomplished everything in the Milky Way I could. I was locked into a future of diminishing returns. So coming here was the world's biggest midlife crisis. A chance to wake up in the morning and feel hope instead of arthritis.
How's Sarah doing?
Her condition's stable. I see signs of REM activity in the brain, so she's dreaming. Means all the wiring still works.
How'd this happen?
It was dumb luck, really. We hit the scourge at the worst possible moment, just as the stasis revival was kicking in. It's a vulnerable moment coming out of a 600-year nap, then wham! The circuits fried and overloaded the neural pathways. Don't worry, I'm on it. We're not losing another writer.
That's all, Harry. Thanks.
Don't be a stranger. If anything changes with Sarah, I'll let you know.
Hey Sarah, wake up soon. Also, why don't they give her a blanket or something? I mean, I know why, it's not serious animation budget, but...
Ryder.
Hayes, how's the wound?
Doc says I'll live. So this goes from a life-threatening gunshot to a story I'll tell my grandkids someday.
With no need to exaggerate. That was a tough fight on Habitat 7.
Just glad to be on the other side of it.
Greer, how you feeling?
Grateful. If you and Liam hadn't found me in that cave, God knows what those aliens would have done.
We couldn't leave a man behind.
Yeah, your father. And Kirkland.
We'll never forget their sacrifice. It's a brave thing, risking your life for the greater good.
Yeah. Just seems unfair. We barely got here. I'm sorry I'm not out there with you, but Kirkland was a friend, and I'm not cut out for this anymore.
Understood. Habitat 7 was a nasty wake-up call. You take care, Greer.
You too. And thanks again.
I like how we kind of being cool with this and saying, hey, sure, you know, if you realize this is not going to be your thing, then fine, we'll find you a different job. Rather than, you know, berating him for cowardice or something like that.
Fisher, glad to see you're doing better.
That was some expedition, hey? Captain said I'm going in the log as the first human to make contact with the kid. And Kirkland's the first casualty. Wish it could have gone differently.
I'm sure there are decent aliens here in Andromeda too. We just have to find them.
Well, I heard you're Pathfinder now. The sooner you figure out where they're hiding, the better.
Will do. Chin up.
Do my best. Alrighty. So now actually let's go get my new boat.
Ready to see what Tan gave us?
I hear it's something special. Pathfinder en route. How's the ship?
In final checks, looking great.
We won't be long. The way things are going, we'll be on our own out there.
In other words, we're making this up as we go.
We used to call that tactical improvisation. But at least we'll be doing it in style. They call her the Tempest.
Very nice looking. Shiny, coppery terminal.
Let's go take a closer look.
So as an aerospace engineer, I can make all kinds
Let's pick it up a bit, people. We're 14 months late.
comments about the design, but
So you're the one who's making
in terms of
everything
looks,
happen.
it's amazing.
Vetra. Vetra Nix. Initiative Wrangler, Provisioner, Gunner, and everything in between. Are we ready? The sooner we get out of here, the better.
You're coming with us?
Yes. Otherwise, there's no way they're letting this ship off the station.
Nix is Greek for night, by the way.
What's the rush?
Just don't want to waste any more time.
Hold it, hold it. You're not going anywhere.
Damn it.
Is something wrong?
Director Addison wants to see a complete report of the Tempest's supplies, munitions, and crew.
Director Tan overruled Addison.
The ship's loaded out with equipment for outpost discovery. Squarely
Great. We're caught.
Seen you around. Ben, right?
The powers.
Came here with a family, didn't you? Son still in cryo? I could pull some strings, get him to the front of the line.
Really?
Yeah, really.
They told me he wasn't essential, but I miss him.
I know. I got family too, Ben.
It's done. Addison's gonna kill me.
Nicely done.
Part of the job, Pathfinder. All things considered, it was an easy ask. And right now, you need people tearing down obstacles, not putting up more.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty terrible way of solving this.
Cares about doing stuff and not just talking about it.
So, instead of me, as Pathfinder, who has quite a bit of authority and political clout, confronting Addison, I'm basically letting this poor guy who's going to be caught in the crossfire take the fall for me. It's not really a very
Everything's
nice thing
state
to
of
do.
the art. Labs, sensors, exploration gear. Plus her crew, of course. The best in their field.
Glad to see you're doing so well, Scott.
The engine core is based on the Ark's Odyssey drive.
It runs a
Health
hell of a
and
lot
safety
quieter.
is going to
That's
have something to do on
Gilbride.
that.
Engineer, mechanic, all-around wrench jockey. We call this the research room. There's space for upgrading equipment, gathering intel.
Router engaged. Securing connection to Tempest.
Welcome aboard, Sam. And Ryder, of course.
All run by Suvi Anwar, our science officer. Your quarters are below. Plenty of space up here to get everyone together. It's all yours. She's light, stealthy, and the fastest ship in her class.
It's really going to be something, isn't it?
I haven't even shown you the best part. When you're ready to fly, head over to the bridge. Our pilot should have everything good to go.
Well,
Better head to the bridge when we're ready to go.
I like the view here. It's pretty.
The meeting room. You can make vid calls from the central table or just get the crew together.
Also able to design, very good. So very much a war table vibe to this. For those of you who've played DA Inquisition. Alright, looking at the time, I need to wrap up this episode. So we've finally got our pretty new ship. Next episode we'll be flying it. Hopefully, depending on how long it takes us to do a walk around of the ship, because I'll do it as well. Before I go, some quick comments about the ship. Yeah, like I mentioned, as an aerospace engineer, there are all kinds of comments I could make about this. So yeah, all these windows, huge structural weaknesses, as Getheth pointed out in ME3. Although the wing kind of things don't seem to be really functional and therefore kind of pointless. A lot of empty space in here, which is not really doing anything. So in terms of functional design, right? There's a lot to criticize. In terms of aesthetics, on the other hand, it looks really cool. Right, so I mean, for a video game spaceship, I really like the design. It really looks cool. For a real life design, future spaceships will most likely, as far as I can foretell the future, not look like this anytime soon, right? Especially since we're constrained by mass, and it's really expensive to get mass into space. We're not going to make huge empty spaces like this, which is just, really inefficient use of the space. One thing to notice is this very subtle kind of hexagon pattern going on in here. So suggests that maybe this is not actually a window, but a projected screen, which would make a lot of sense. And I wonder if that sky there is, that's kind of Nexus projectioning as well, right? So it's kind of a skybox in the Nexus. Pretty cool. But not having these as windows, but having these as screens also makes a lot more sense in terms of structures. Final comment is on the naming. We finally left the Greek names behind, so we've just got good old-fashioned Tempest. I'm not sure whether it's intentionally a nod to the Shakespeare play or not. There's a Shakespeare play, of course, The Tempest, which is about a bunch of people who get shipwrecked on an island by a sorcerer who causes a storm. Tempest, from the eponymous is the word eponymous tempest, which causes people to be shipwrecked on an island. So I don't know if that's a hint, kind of at the scourge, right? It's been hinted it's artificial. So the scourge, of course, shipwrecked us. So I don't know if maybe they were going for that connection. It also breaks the mold of human ship naming we've seen so far. At least the Systems Alliance names their ships, it would seem, after cities on Earth and important battlefields, historical battlefields on Earth. Of course, the Andromeda Initiative is not military, so it makes sense they'd go for their own naming schemes. But it's interesting that for this particular ship, they've chosen to break with the Greek and gone for Shakespeare instead. And on that note, I think it's a good time to wrap up this episode, and I hope you'll join me for the next one. Until then, I hope you enjoy your day, and happy sciencing, and see you again soon.